All right, White's faithful. Grab your seats, lock your doors, and brace yourselves because what I'm about to tell you is madness. Absolute madness coming out of Elland Road. And trust me, you're not ready for this roller coaster. Listen up, Peacocks fans, while we're sitting here hoping for Premier League survival, there's a storm brewing behind the scenes at LS11 that could either make us or break us this season. We've got a defender on loan who's about to become a gold mine. The club's about to get hammered with fines because some fans can't keep their cool. And wait for it, there's potential mutiny in the dressing room. Yeah, you heard that right, mutiny. I'm talking about a player stuck in the shadows overseas, who's suddenly got his golden ticket to stardom. Passionate supporters whose love crosses the line and costs us real money. And a midfield maestro who carried us to the championship title, but now can't get a sniff of the starting 11. The German gaffer's got some serious decisions to make, and the clock is ticking. Before we dive into this madness, do me a favor, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me if you think we'll stay up this season, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because we're bringing you all the Leeds drama, all the time. Now, here's what's eating at me, and it should be eating at you too. How can we talk about stability when we've got a loanee? Defender who couldn't get a game for us suddenly about to explode in value in Germany. When our own fans are throwing objects at opposition players and the FAS got their wallets out, ready to fine us again. And when one of last season's heroes is sitting on the bench watching new signings take his spot. This isn't just drama, White's family. This is a ticking time bomb at Elland Road. And somebody better defuse it fast. Because let me tell you something, while Daniel Farke's trying to keep us in the Premier League, he's juggling grenades, and one wrong move could see everything explode in his face. Ready for the first bombshell? Because this one involves a defender who we shipped off to Germany. And what's happening to him over there is about to change everything for Leeds United. Let's go! Here it is. White's fans, Isaac Schmidt is about to make Leeds United look like absolute geniuses or complete fools, depending on how this plays out. Remember this name? The Swiss defender we brought in from St. Gallen with HIGH hopes, only to watch him get absolutely nowhere near the first team. The lad played 12 times for us in the championship. 12. And you know how many times he started in the league? 0, not once. The poor guy managed just 71 minutes in England's second tier, because Jaden Bogle was playing out of his skin. So what did we do? We shipped him off to Werder Bremen in Germany on loan, probably thinking, well, that's that then. Maybe he'll get some games and we can sell him for a decent fee later. Standard business, right? Wrong. Here's where it gets juicy, my friends. According to reports coming out of Germany from Bild, and this is classified as a shock development, Schmidt's teammate Felix Agu has picked up an injury. And guess who's about to become Werder Bremen's first choice right back during that absence? You got it. Oh, you our boy Isaac Schmidt. Now, I know what you're thinking. So what? He gets some games in Germany. Big deal. But hold on. White's faithful, because this is where the transfer value skyrockets. Schmidt's already scored off the bench in his Bundesliga debut. 1 goal already. And now he's about to get consistent starting minutes in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Do you understand what that means for his price tag? We're talking about a player who couldn't get a sniff of game time at Leeds, suddenly proving himself in the Bundesliga. That's the league where we've done some brilliant business before. The Bundesliga is a shop window, and Schmidt's about to put himself right in the display case with a big bright spotlight on him. But here's the million-pound question. Does Daniel Farke actually want him back at Leeds? Or are we looking at this as a money-making opportunity? Because right now, Schmidt's played 105 minutes in the Bundesliga this season with an average rating of 6.95, not world-beating, but he's about to get his real chance to shine. If he takes this opportunity and runs with it, we could either have a refined, Bundesliga-proven defender coming back to Elland Road ready to challenge for a spot, or we've got ourselves a player whose transfer value just went through the ROOF, giving us some serious cash to reinvest in the squad for our Premier League survival battle. Either way, Parag Mara and the 49ers might have accidentally played a blinder here. Sometimes the best business is the business you don't even plan for. But wait, White's family, because while Schmidt's potentially making us money in Germany, the club's about to lose money right here at home. And it's all because some fans couldn't keep their emotions in check. You ready for this disaster? Right, Leeds faithful. Let's talk about something that hurts, and I mean it hurts the club where it really matters. The bank account. We all know Elland Road is a fortress. Daniel Farke's only lost one home game since we came back up to the Premier League. We've beaten Everton, drawn with Newcastle and Bournemouth, and we make visiting teams absolutely terrified to come to West Yorkshire. That's our stadium. That's OUR power. That's what makes us Leeds United. But here's the thing, and this is where I need you to listen carefully. Passion is brilliant when it's channeled right. But when it crosses the line, it doesn't just embarrass the club. It costs us real money that we desperately need for Premier League survival. Remember that gut-wrenching 2-1 defeat to Tottenham? Of course you do. We all do. Well, during that match, things got UGLY. Objects were thrown from the crowd, targeting Mohamed Kudus and Pedro Porro. Yeah, you heard me right. Fans threw stuff at opposition players. And now, the FA is investigating Leeds United over those incidents. I spoke with football finance expert Dan Plumley exclusively, and he didn't pull any punches. He said a fine is likely guaranteed. And here's the kicker. Repeat offenses mean the fines get more severe each time. Let me read you his exact words because they're chilling. You just can't do it. And you know the club is going to get hit in the pocket. And you know that for multiple offenses, the severity of those fines tends to go up. It's the only way that the authorities can really deal with it. If it carries on, that pound number on the fine number will get higher ultimately. Do you understand what this means, Whites fans? We're fighting for Premier League survival. Every single penny counts when you're trying to strengthen the squad, keep within PS or regulations, and compete with clubs that have bottomless pockets. And we're about to hand over cash to the FA because some supporters couldn't control themselves. Leeds have mostly stayed away from FA trouble this season. We even avoided a potential fine for turning up late against Fulham. But this is different. This is objects being thrown at players. The FA can't just ignore this, and as Plumley says, we've got nitrogen monoxide defense here. Farke himself wasn't happy with the officials during that Tottenham defeat, and fair enough. He's received apology letters before about refereeing decisions. But those referee mistakes don't cost us money. Throwing objects does. Listen, I get IT. I understand the passion. I understand the frustration when things aren't going our way. But we cannot let emotions turn into actions that hurt the club we love. Every pound we pay in fines is a pound we can't spend on a striker who might score the goals to keep us up. It's a pound we can't use to bring in that defensive midfielder we desperately need. The authorities are watching this one closely over the international break. And you can bet that fine is coming. Multiple offenses mean higher penalties, and we can't afford this, White's family. We literally can't afford it. But if you think that's a headache for Daniel Farke, wait until you hear what's brewing in the dressing room. Because one of last season's absolute heroes is sitting there frustrated, disappointed, and speaking out about his situation. And if this spreads, Farke might have a full-blown mutiny on his hands. Alright, Peacock's faithful, this is it, the big one. The story that could define our entire season. We're talking about dressing room unrest, player frustration, and the very real possibility that Daniel Farke's got a mutiny brewing under his nose. Tanaka, remember that name? Of course you do. The Japanese maestro who was the heartbeat of our championship-winning side last season. The midfielder who had Ian Wright raving about him, excited to see him play in the Premier League. The 27-year-old who controlled games, dictated tempo, and was absolutely fundamental to us winning that title. Well, guess what? He's been frozen out. The man hasn't started in the last 5 Premier League games. 5, and he's not staying quiet about it anymore. In an interview with the media during international duty, reported by Goal on October 6th, Tanaka said something that should send alarm bells ringing throughout Elland Road, of course. The most important thing is that I'm disappointed not to be playing. Disappointed. That's the word he used. And you know what? He's got every right to be disappointed. This is a player who carried us to promotion, who was praised by legends of the game, who proved he belongs at this level, and now he's watching Sean Longstaff and Anton Stach take his spot in the starting 11. Now, I'm not saying Longstaff and Stach haven't been good. They have. Longstaff brought that Newcastle tenacity we desperately needed, and Stach has been brilliant pressing from that advanced midfield role. But Tanaka earned his stripes. He's only played 181 minutes across 5 Premier League appearances this season. That's just over 36 minutes per game on average. Sure, he picked up a physical knock at Elland Road after the Arsenal match, and that was a setback. But the fact remains, Ethan Ampadu, Longstaff, and Stach have formed an impressive trio, and Tanaka's left on the outside looking in. But here's where this gets dangerous for Fark. Tanaka's not the only one. Jakob Biegel, the former Udinese star, is also unhappy with his situation under the German manager. He's become a bit part player when he should be fighting for a starting spot. Think about this. White's family, if more players start feeling discouraged about their prospects at Leeds, if the dressing room starts splitting between those who play and those who don't, Fark could have a full-scale rebellion on his hands. And you know what happens when the dressing room turns? Teams collapse. We're fighting for Premier League survival. We cannot afford disharmony. We can't have players checking out mentally because they feel disrespected or underused. Championship-winning heroes watching from the bench while new signings take their places. That's a recipe for disaster. Daniel Fark needs to handle this situation like a bomb disposal expert, because one wrong move, and boom, the whole thing explodes. Does he rotate more to keep everyone happy? Does he stick with his winning formula and risk alienating key squad members? Does he sit down with Tanaka and Biegel and explain his vision? The German gaffer showed signs of improvement in the Tottenham defeat despite the loss, and West Yorkshire fans are confident we've got a squad capable of staying up. But if the unity fractures, all that potential means nothing. So here's where we stand. Leeds faithful, we've got a loanee in Germany whose value is about to skyrocket, potentially giving us either a quality player back or serious transfer funds. We've got fines coming our way because passion crossed the line into stupidity. And we've got dressing room unrest with championship heroes feeling frozen out. This is Daniel Fark's biggest test yet. Can he keep Schmidt's value rising while planning for the future? Can he control the fanbase's passion before we lose more money? Can he manage the egos and keep the dressing room united? Drop your comments below. Is Tanaka right to be frustrated? Should Schmidt come back to Leeds? And can we please stop throwing things and costing the club money? Smash that subscribe button, because this Leeds season is going to be wild, and you don't want to miss a single moment. Come on, you Whites! Through thick and thin, through controversies and chaos, we are Leeds, and we're in this together. Marching on together.